Everyone, and welcome to a new segment that we are launching at UMass Dartmouth Athletics. Where are they now? And we are honored today to be joined by our first guest for the series, which is a former two-sport Corsair student athlete in the sport of basketball and lacrosse, Leah Douty, class of 2018. Leah, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored.
Well, we are honored to have you. Certainly, you enjoyed a great career as a student athlete at UMass Dartmouth, highly successful, as said, in two sports. So really excited to talk to you today about your experience and what you've been doing since graduation. So let's get started. You came to UMass Dartmouth from Framingham High School. Enjoyed a very successful career there at Framingham High. Tell us about your background, growing up, what were your favorite sports to play, and what are some of your favorite memories of your high school career?
Yeah, I think growing up, my dad was always very into sports. He worked for like YMCA's, JCC's, and he really had like a big sports background. And I just remember he always kind of pushed me to try all the sports. So I wanted to try everything. I did hockey, I did basketball, soccer. And that was just kind of what he pushed me to do. And then growing up in Framingham, I just remember, like a bunch of my friends played sports as well. And I have a lot of fond memories of being there. You said what were my favorite like high school memories from sports? I think one of the highlights was when you made varsity. We used to we had this interesting tradition, and I don't think they allow it anymore because looking back, it was a little bit crazy. When you made varsity, you used to be able to kind of like not trash the person's house, but sort of like you would like silly string and put posters on their yard. Yeah. So I remember when I made varsity basketball, I woke up in the morning and there was silly string all over. There was posters. There was like confetti on the yard, like nothing crazy, but I just remember like the excitement of like, oh my gosh, like I'm on varsity, I'm a part of this now. So I remember that being a highlight. Again, I don't think they allow people to do that anymore, but I remember that being super exciting. And then of course, when I was older and got to do it,
I don't know.
What's that?
My wife's a high school basketball coach, so I don't know if they still do that or not, but it's a great, it's a great tradition. It's a celebration. Yeah. And that's really, at the end of the day, you're celebrating achievement. And I hope they do allow it. It's a fun thing. It's like, why not,
Yeah, absolutely. So that was always a fun thing. And then getting to do it to other people was pretty cool too.
The pink.
Yes.
Paying it forward. Absolutely. It's very rare these days. In high school, you see it more often with kids playing multiple sports, but it's very rare to see it in college. And it's very rare to enjoy success at such a high level in both sports.
Oh, stop it. Keep going.
What prepared you for those challenges? It certainly, especially, when you think about it, it's not like you're playing a fall sport and then you have a season in between to get ready for a spring sport.
Yeah.
At a high level in a winter sport. And then turning around after a few short weeks and ready for a spring sport. What prepared you for those challenges?
Like I said, I think growing up, I was just always going from one sport to the next. So that was not that's what I was used to. I would finish basketball season, I would go straight to lacrosse. I'd finish lacrosse, I'd go straight to training for soccer. I played 3 sports in high school. And then at least at the beginning, I played soccer, basketball, and lacrosse. And then I added in club basketball. So like I was just always so used to jumping from one thing to the next. And then I think just like learning time management skills and just again being used to, like, I was conditioned from basketball, and yes, it's a different sort of conditioning, but I think just having that, being used to being coached, conditioned, you take those things and you bring them into whatever sport it may be. So I was just ready to go.
Well, let's talk about your basketball career
Yeah.
as a Corsair. You look back at the numbers: 86 wins, 27 losses. You were part of the greatest season in school history as a junior. That amazing run to the Elite Eight before falling at Amherst in the regional final. Talk about that amazing ride that you had with your teammates, and what you remember most about that experience.
Yeah.
Anytime you go on a ride like that, it's a lot of fun. But there had to be so many memories of a lifetime.
Oh my God. Yeah. It honestly like gives me like chills just thinking about it, because that was just such an amazing ride and something that I will never forget. I remember when we lost, in and I thought my season was over, and then we got that bid, and I just was like, I cannot believe we're getting this opportunity to continue to keep playing and play against some amazing competition. And then just when we started winning and then continuing to win, it was like we were all kind of looking around like, is this for real? And I think just like the support we got from the school was just so cool. Obviously, growing up seeing all these Division I teams going on their NCAA journey, and then feeling like, even though we're Division III, like it's obviously still so cool and such a big accomplishment. And I feel like UMass Dartmouth really did a good job at making us feel so special. Like other teams would come out. Like I remember one morning we were getting on the bus for a game, and like the softball team came out and they had posters and they were clapping for us. So just seeing that support and just making everyone else just making us feel so special was just so cool, and just so rewarding.
It's an amazing experience when you hear the term in basketball all the time: survive and advance, and then you keep surviving, you keep advancing, and it's like you don't want the ride to end. So
No.
It's an amazing feeling. I know it's something you'll take with you the rest of your life. It's just it's one of those things, the prototypical, they can never take it away from you, and they'll never take that away from you.
Exactly. No,
Amazing.
I still keep in touch with like a bunch of my teammates, obviously, like Alicia Cutil and Chelsea Houlihan and stuff. And like whenever we get together and like we just talk about that experience, and that's something, I get to share with my best friends that, like you said, can never take away from me. So that'll always be some amazing memories.
Absolutely. Well, the person that brought you to UMass Dartmouth from Framingham High School didn't get a chance to coach you. Amanda Van Boris was the head women's basketball coach.
Yeah.
Took over as our athletic director for the last 8 years.
Yep.
So your arrival coincided with the ascension of Matt Ducharme to the head coaching position. Everybody's got their favorite Matt Ducharme stories. I have mine. What's yours?
My God, that's honestly a tough one, because there's so many good Matt Ducharme stories, but I've got to say, and it's something like so simple, but I just remember, I think we had made it to maybe the Sweet 16 on the NCAA ride. And I remember we like got back in the locker room after winning, and he comes in like all serious, how Matt can be. And then like, even when we'd win back then, he would always like, not that he wouldn't celebrate the wins, because of course he would, but like there was always things to improve on. Even when you win, you need to like, okay, what can we do better for next time and whatever. So he came in all serious, and we were just like expecting him to be like, okay, I know we won, but this, and this. And then I think someone turned on like some like throwback, like 90s, like hip hop rap. Like, I don't know what song it was. And he just starts like breaking it down, dancing in the locker room. And I just feel like that moment just shows who Matt is. Like, he's such a great coach, such a great person. He means business, but he's got some swag to him, and he's not afraid to like celebrate the wins. And just, yeah, it was just such a funny moment.
I'm going to put an offer out to you, to Alicia, to Nakira, anybody that was on that team that has video of that in the locker room of him dancing. I will pay heartily for that. You know, we're always looking for good social media content. We're always looking to, you know, little Dancing with the Stars thing. So if there's video out there and anybody has it, please forward it to me.
Yeah, I know my team always recorded, so I'm sure we can dig something up for you.
You were just as successful on the lacrosse field as you were on the basketball court. You know, as a midfielder on the lacrosse team, which is very difficult to play, and I know that you know, one of the areas you excelled in, besides scoring and playmaking, was certainly draw controls and controlling the midfield. Mm. You know, as you transition each year from basketball to lacrosse, what are some of the favorite memories that you have as being a lacrosse player? Your senior year, you were part of the most successful team in school history.
Wow.
As far as wins go, 11 wins. What were some of your favorite memories of being on the lacrosse field?
I think that it was so special for me transitioning from basketball to lacrosse, because the lacrosse team just made it so easy. I think especially with girls, like things can get catty sometimes, and I always kind of felt bad, like, oh, I missed preseason, I missed for lacrosse, and that sense of guilt or whatever the case may be. And they just like welcomed me with open arms, and they were just such a funny team. I think, like you said, they weren't always the most successful, but you walking into practice and walking onto the team, like, you would never know, like, they worked so hard, but they always had fun with it too. I think like they made it such a fun experience. So it wasn't, when I went to transition and yeah, like after a long basketball season, I think it could be something that's like, oh God, like now I have another sport to play. But I mean, as soon as I hopped on the field and I hopped into practice, like I knew I was with like an awesome group of girls that were ready to work, but also like they had fun with it and they made it so enjoyable. Like the personalities on those teams, Erin Kish, Annie Lynch, like they're such characters. So, yeah, they just knew how to work hard but have fun with it. So it was really fun and easy to transition.
Absolutely, it's a great group, and one of my favorites on that list is Caitlin Birchall, who she actually played basketball for my wife. Believe it or not, it's a small world.
How could I not mention her? She was, first of all, so incredibly talented, and also just, oh, she's hilarious.
Hilarious and intense at the same time.
Yes, good mix.
Well, as you know, you mentioned before about life skills and time management and things that you have to do during the course of the year as a student athlete. Certainly, you multiply that when you're playing two sports. But away from the experience of being an athlete, what are the things that you remember most about just being a student, just being, hanging out, being with your friends? Is there a favorite professor, a favorite class? Is there a favorite memory off the field or off the court that stands out for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a lot of really cool professors, took a lot of really awesome classes, but I mean, I think, not gonna lie, it was just like the moments with my friends, being away from sports. Like a lot of my friends were athletes, but a lot of them weren't. And I don't know like what it's like now. It's been a few years, but I remember like the Dells were always the fun spot to hang out. So just getting together
It's what I hear. I haven't visited, but it's what I
yeah,
hear.
I don't know what it's like now, but everyone's like, meet at the Dells. Like the Dells are the hot spot. So just like getting together, Sundays, football Sundays, there was, like a big outdoor area. People would hang out outside, and just, again, even the people that weren't playing sports, like there was just a real sense of community there. And it was just, I don't know, it just made the experience, even outside of sports, so enjoyable. Just met some really, really awesome people.
Well, that's it's such a huge part of the college experience. Those are the things you always remember as well.
Yeah.
What do you think UMass Dartmouth education prepared you for life after graduation?
Wait, sorry, you broke up a little bit. Can you
I'm
say
sorry.
that?
How do you think how did a UMass Dartmouth education prepare you for life after graduation?
I think so I was a business marketing major, and I took some really awesome classes. One class, well, I also did an internship too. I did a CAS internship. And that was really cool to kind of get to know a different department. That was when I was first starting out. I came in undecided, and I met a really cool professor, Professor Leah. I'm not sure if she's still there. She was my CAS 101 professor, and I don't know, she was just really cool and exposed me to a lot of different things in that department. And then when I transitioned over to business marketing, I took some really cool classes. I remember one class in particular, my senior year, you had to come up with like your own product, and decide how you would market it, and all the different details that go into the back end of coming up with a new product. I don't know. I just think the business department just did a really good job at exposing you to a lot of different sides of what business entails. And we did a lot of projects that I feel like gave me good hands-on experience that I could take with me and use in the real world. So I know that I use some of those lessons that I learned even now.
Well, that transitions to my next question. What career path have you taken, and how did you decide to follow that particular career path?
Yeah, it was funny because so like I said, I was business marketing, and when I graduated, I was kind of like, okay, what do I want to do? I looked at, sales and marketing tend to go hand in hand. So I remember I looked at working for like an elevator company, like just all these different things that it's so easy to go down those paths. And then I remember thinking to myself, like, okay, what's really gonna make me happy and what's gonna fulfill me? And I don't think selling elevators is gonna be that thing. So like I had mentioned, my dad worked for JCC's YMCA's before, and I was actually a camp counselor at the JCC of Greater Boston a few years back. And I had reached out to them and just said, hey, I'm graduating, not sure if there's any position available. And they were like, actually, we have an admin position available for the health and wellness department. I know it's just like a baseline, but if you want to come in. So I started off as an admin. Now I am the operations manager there.
Okay.
And I'm also a personal trainer there. So like I said, I didn't really know what to do with life after like sports and school, but the fitness industry, sports and rec industry always interested me. So I started working for the JCC, and I feel like I've gotten a little taste of everything with that, and I'm really enjoying it.
Well, it sounds like it, especially nowadays during the pandemic when fitness is everybody's trying to figure out how to stay in some sort of a normal routine. So it's certainly got to be very rewarding for you with that. You talk about, certainly you're very busy now.
Yeah.
You were certainly busy during your time at the university. How did you balance that schedule? I mean, you talked about before about time management and how important it is to try to get every minute out of every day. But how did you maintain that balance then? And certainly, how do you do it now?
Yeah, so I think, yeah, time management was just something that I grew up understanding. I knew that if I wanted to go to practice, I needed to get my homework done before. Um, and I think like those habits kind of started even as early as middle school, and they just um, carried on with me the older I got and the more difficult my schedule became. So I think it's just really like planning things out and knowing that, you know, in order, it's a privilege to get to play sports. It's
Hmm.
not a right. So I think obviously like you know, if my grades were suffering, like sports was going to have to take a back seat. So I think I just always was good at prioritizing in my mind, okay, like if I want to continue to do these things that I love, like I need to still work hard and I need to still get, you know, good grades and get my work done. So I think just planning and prioritizing is super important. Even now, yeah, I have my full-time job at the JCC, and I don't know if like you've seen, my sister and I have a fitness business together.
I have seen, yes.
Yeah, and so it's balancing, you know, those two things as well, and just again understanding that you need to prioritize and make time and do what needs to get done. But I think I just from a young age kind of understood that in order to do the things that you want to do, you need to get what needs to get done.
Yep. And you talked about your fitness business, which I've seen it really take off. I know
Mm.
you and I are friends on Facebook, and I see pictures that you've put up and stuff. Certainly, that is really taken off for you. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you're looking forward to a post-COVID world when we get to whatever our new normal is, where that will
Yeah.
even go to new heights. What are you looking most forward to as we move, hopefully move out of this pandemic very soon?
Yeah, I mean, I think the world has been in such a crazy state for so long, and you know, we're doing our best at work at the JCC, and then my sister and I with our business to still maintain that sense of community, even not being in person as much. But I think that's like what I'm most excited about. Like I remember just like doing all these cool events in person again, whether it was at the JCC or just like a separate fitness event outside of work, and just feel like that togetherness, that sense of community. So it's something that we're trying to build virtually, but it's so much easier and, you know, so much better when you can be in person and you can like see someone smiling, hear them laughing. It's just such a difference. So I just can't wait to like, again, I feel like we're maintaining a sense of community now, but I can't wait to just amplify that even more post COVID.
I can tell you, being married to a kindergarten teacher who's trying to teach 5-year-olds via Zoom,
Oh my
that
gosh. Oh my
my wife is my wife has a straight path to heaven, but she says
God.
many of the same things you do. It's just, maintaining that sense of community and trying to keep things as normal and cohesive as
Right.
possible until
Well,
we go.
hats
Well, my
off to all
well, my
teachers.
last question is this, and
Yeah.
what's the best advice that you could give to a student athlete who's just beginning their collegiate experience?
Oh man. I would say just enjoy every moment and don't take it for granted. There's a quote I read the other day, and it's something like change your mindset from I have to I get to. And I think that's so important, and it's so easy. Like, I mean, I remember those days in practice, especially like after we lost or something, like, and you knew it was going to be like a big conditioning practice. And it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to go to practice right now. Like, this stinks. But when you change your mindset from I have to I get to, like I get to move my body, I get to play a sport that I love. Like, it's like I said before, it's a privilege, it's not a right. So I think just being grateful for those moments, being grateful to be able to do what you love every day, even though not every day is the most fun and exciting. I think that's super important to just have that mindset.
That is great advice, and you know, it speaks to a lot of the things that our student athletes are going through right now. Because you know, certainly, you know, in the current conditions, this isn't the college experience that they signed up for.
Right.
But you know, what you just said about from have to get to, I think is something that they're carrying forward, and it's, you know, it's really helping them get through this, and looking forward to the days, I guess, when they will play again. And that's one of the that's the most important thing. I think we can all take care of this, is that there are things that we all took for granted that we will be able to do again very soon. So
Right.
looking forward to that. Leah, I can't thank you enough for your time today. Congratulations on all the success that you enjoyed, your time at the university, and certainly all the success that you're enjoying now after graduation. And can't wait to see you at a game very soon. Hopefully we'll be playing those very soon, and we can get back at it. So thanks very much for your time, and have a great holiday season.
Thank you so much, Jim. It has been a pleasure and again an honor. So I can't wait to be back at UMass Dartmouth cheering all the Corsairs on. Thank you again.
Sounds great. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.